Hey, welcome to another episode of Follow-Up Genius. Today, I am, well, in case you don't know me, I'm Wesley.
And I'm Steven.
And today we have a really awesome episode. Here's a little hint. I do what I please.
Yes, I do. And I don't follow up.
Anyway, what are we doing today?
Coffee campaign.
Coffee campaign. What the heck is a coffee campaign?
Just a re-engagement campaign that gets your past clients engaged in a conversation with you.
And what if I'm like, I don't want to go have coffee with these people?
Uber's hiring.
Welcome to the Follow-Up Genius Show, a show dedicated to helping real estate agents find their fortune in follow-up by creating stronger relationships, generating more referrals, and converting more leads. Hosted by Wesley Rocha, founder and CEO of LinkU, and Steven Groders, real estate entrepreneur and high-performance coach. Follow us at followupgenius.net.
So yeah, in this episode, we're going to be talking about a very popular campaign that is also the most unpopular campaign.
I was going to say, it's not real popular.
So to kind of give you some context in that, for example, we have a follow-up system or software that we use. It's called the Ultimate Follow-Up Machine, ultimatefollowupmachine.com, just plug. But basically, we recommend, hey, you should run this coffee campaign to your SOI, your past clients, stuff like that. And a lot of people don't want to do the campaign. They're like, I don't really want to do that. They don't really understand how it works. So today we thought, hey, you know what? Why don't we break this down? Because I've seen it from a few other top producers also toting kind of this idea, or not the idea, but the concept and how well it works. And Steven's done it. He's perfected it. And so we're going to break it down for you so you can see how can you use this campaign, what's the right way to use it, and what does it all mean to go out and have coffee and lunch with your past clients, SOI?
Yeah. Well, you know, the reason why it's so very unpopular, because it works. And a lot of times, stuff that works, agents don't like to do it because it requires work.
Right. You got to drive out of there. You got
to call,
schedule it, all that.
Schedule an appointment. You got to schedule time to go to deposit the check. You know, there's all kinds of different stuff you have to do prior to the appointment. But at the end of the day, I like to use the coffee campaign with the sphere of influence, or your SOI. And it's really a very, very simple campaign. You know, with the LinkU automated follow-up system, that's how we use it. If you don't have that, the best thing to do is just get on the phone and say, hey, Wes, it's Steven here, agent with Keller Williams. I'm going to be in your neighborhood next week, Thursday morning. Love to stop by, have a cup of coffee, and see what you guys have done to the place.
Yeah, so if you want to stop into their place.
Yeah. I personally, and our people on our team, they personally go and visit that homeowner at the house. Now, if you have a business professional, we use that campaign in a different manner, right? Hey, it's Steven here. Remember me? Or actually, let me do that over again. Hey, it's Steven here with Keller Williams. I was just thinking about you. Love to buy you a cup of coffee and check and see how things are going. You know, we always talk about how real estate's a relationship building game. How come the relationship ends when the commission check is cashed? I've been saying that for a long, long time. At the end of the day, it's really about just re-engaging, and that's what that campaign's all about, is just to spark a conversation, re-engage that past client.
Right. So what happens is this: you would send out your text.
Yep. Just
to summarize, you send out a text, then they reply, sure, yeah. And I know sometimes you say maybe it's coffee or lunch in case they're not a coffee person, right? Something like that. And then people maybe, what do you say on that? You know, okay, so now I schedule the appointment. They're good. They want to either I go to their house or we meet somewhere, a Starbucks or a food place or whatever. I show up. Now as the agent, what do I say? What do I do?
There's all kinds of things to say. You know, first and foremost, I would rekindle that relationship. I would check your notes, talk to them about their family, talk to them about how the house is doing, right? And then, you know, maybe ask them, how's your investment portfolio looking like? You know, it is a presidential campaign this year, and a lot of people are a little fidgety about their stock portfolio. Have you ever considered diversifying your holdings and maybe to some real estate? Or, you know, another good one too, Wes, I say this a lot, and depending on the marketplace that you're in, our market allows Airbnb. And I just simply ask them, have you ever heard of Airbnb? And they're like, yeah, I have. Why? Why do you ask? They're literally buying houses for people and paying them off. You know what they say? 9 out of 10. Even when I use this with brokers, they ask me, well, how does that work? Can you share with me how that works? You got to know what you're talking about. You know, we always tell agents, bring value before you ask for something. It's kind of like on Facebook. If you see a friend, family member, past client that just got that puppy, congratulate them. Hey, congratulations on the puppy. They're a lot of work. But then direct message them. Hey, I know a lot of homeowners, when they get an animal, they make some form of adjustment to their house. I'm going to send over a copy of your survey. Here's a couple of fencing people for you, and maybe even an invisible dog fence. Then in a couple days later, I can follow up and ask them how it went. Then I can ask them for a referral. Provide value first and foremost. To stop by, bring a CMA with you. Show people how much equity. Like in our market, if you bought 5 years ago, you made 80 or 90 or 100 grand just on an entry-level house.
Right.
And most people don't know that.
Right.
That's the conversation.
Okay.
Find
so those are some conversations we could talk about. Investing, maybe buying, I guess I would be income rental properties, because they've already bought from you before. So now you're thinking, well, if I'm meeting with them, why am I meeting with them if they just bought a house a year ago? You know what I mean?
You've heard me say this before. If you have a 401k at your employer, every year you got to sit down and you have to talk to that 401k administrator. Even if you just started, if you got $1,000 in it, or if you got $500,000 in your 401k, you still got to meet with them. If you want to posture yourself as an ultimate professional, start acting like one. Go visit them. Give them an equity update. Show them what they can do with their property. You know, we talk so much about properties, but look at the property entitlement. What can that property actually do for the person who lives there? Maybe they bought an R1 or R2 or R3 property or something that's mixed use, and they had no idea what they could do with it. You as a professional, your job is to bring value. Right. Pretty simple game.
Yeah. And then let's say you have this meeting and maybe you're thinking, well, the people, this person, they don't have money to invest in a house. I don't know about this Airbnb strategy. I don't know about this other stuff, or they didn't necessarily buy for me, or whatever it might be. I do like the property stuff, because if they are past buyers or sellers, it's really easy to just say, oh, by the way, you fumble in your book. I just made this for you real quick. I figured it's just a property report on the a CMA or whatever.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a CMA, because don't talk in Ackermans.
Sure.
This is a cash position in your house. Did you know?
Some kind of market report, something that they understand. Oh, just so you could see. So maybe flip it, and then they may go through. Feel free to take a look if you have any questions.
You know, maybe they're not a real estate investor.
Mm-hmm.
Let's role play a little bit. Hey, Wes, what'd you do for lunch?
What did I do for lunch?
Yeah, didn't you go out with your realtor or something?
Oh, yeah.
What the hell do you want?
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know. They reached out to me. They, he had sold our house last year. Reached out to me to go out, and I was like, sure, I'll take a lunch.
Why not? Right? We do it all the time.
All right. So I'll take a lunch. And actually, he gave me like the CMA. Would you believe that my house has actually increased in value over $50,000 already?
What? Didn't you buy like a year ago?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So I don't know. They said some options, like if I wanted to invest, but I don't know how I feel about doing that. But
what do you mean? What type of investing?
Just like maybe rental properties in the area, or kind of not too far in the other.
I was hoping you were saying the Airbnb paying shit off thing.
Yeah, they talk about some Airbnb thing, but that's
the reason why I wanted to bring this conversation up, because what happens if you have a dynamic conversation with you and I have at lunch? You go back and one of your coworkers say, "Hey, Junie, what'd you do for lunch?" Man, my realtor took me out for lunch. What would a realtor take you out for lunch? Now what he's going to do is, you never know, the person that Junie knows, he might be interested in investing in Airbnb. The reason why the campaign works, it's all about reconnecting with that relationship.
Yeah, and the bottom line is just that. It's reconnecting with the relationship. I know the reason I bring that up is because I know a lot of agents already are going to be like, well, I don't know this B&B, Airbnb thing, so I'm not going to do it. And they'll just won't do the whole thing. Or I don't know about investing. I'm not going to do it. And they just won't do the whole thing because now they feel like.
Do they know what a review is?
Yeah.
Go get one then.
Oh, exactly. That's what I'm getting to is whatever thing is for you, the lowest possible thing is a connection and I guess igniting that connection, because the last time you might have talked to them or spent time with them was while you were on their home search. Right. Or during the closing, and maybe you haven't done or had any interaction with them whatsoever. So seeing that real estate's really a personal relationship type of business, then it's very important to maintain that personal relationship. And you could do so much through emails and text and stuff, but I mean, an email newsletter isn't going to keep that relationship. I'll give you an example. I'll just use a commercial real estate agent in this example. We had a commercial agent, which helped us find this office that we're in. And the lease expires. And this is the thing. We've had multiple leases, a 1-year lease, 2-year lease, 3 years. In this case is like a 5 or 6 year. But at no point at any time did the agent ever follow up towards or near an end of lease or anything like that at any time.
Those commercial guys, they don't need the money. So why follow up?
What? I don't know. But the point is, like, there was no other follow up. And then, but there is like an email newsletter that has some commercial properties that I see occasionally.
But what's the relevancy of that?
The point is, that is like, that personal connection, because actually I feel like we had a personal connection with that agent while we're searching for the office. He really got to understand the business, what we're looking for, the type of space we need, things like that. And basically that connection kind of broke or faded away. An email is not going to maintain that connection.
No.
But a coffee or lunch, if he had stopped by, because he actually probably, with commercial, it's easy because you probably have multiple tenants in the same building. You could literally go be like, hey, and go to each one. But yeah, just to stop in. Just to stop in and see how it is without even buying a coffee or lunch. Just something.
It's crazy.
The whole point is having that meeting is just for that personal connection. So if you feel like, oh, I can't do this or I can't offer that or whatever, there's something you can offer.
Get creative.
Exactly. Get
Google
creative.
It if you have to.
But the
what
bottom,
do I say at my coffee meeting?
but the bottom line is that connection.
Yeah.
That's connection. Objective number 1. Objective number 2 might be, okay, maybe I can get a testimonial or something like that. I wouldn't ask like during the lunch. I'd probably wait till like a day or two later.
If you bring value.
But yeah, again, just be more creative. How can you utilize them? Block out. So actually, let's talk about that. Let's talk about, I know you've had some agents that you've even coached to do this. Maybe you can kind of run us through how would one, they're so busy, right? I'm so busy. I don't have time to leave my office and go have these lunches. I don't see how this makes sense. How would you maybe guide someone or coach that person? How did you get your client to start doing it and just pause, hit the brakes on some of the other stuff and time block that, I guess, to make sure it happened?
Well, first, it does take some work.
Sure.
And that's where everybody loses sight. Real estate's not an easy game. It takes a lot of work. And the only reason why I share this stuff with you, Wes, is because our team implemented it and it worked, right? We call people up all the time. Hey, I was just thinking about you. I'd love to stop by the place and see what you've done. But once someone gets into our ecosphere or our community, they're never going to buy a house from anybody else again.
Right.
Because once a quarter, they get the home values up. Like, hey, did you know the value of your house changed? They get that once a quarter, right? That's a valuable email. Once a quarter, they're going to get a local community thing because, we do a lot of community stuff, right? At the end of the day, it just really, really takes follow-up. It's funny you talk about the commercial guy. Mm-hmm. Maybe you should call him and say, hey, I got an amazing platform for you. Maybe the car salesman, because I went to 3 different car dealerships. I took the time to go in, get pre-approved, knew exactly what I wanted, color, options, everything. And not one person, Junie, believe it or not, nobody's ever called me back. Not one person. Just simply call people back. It's that simple at the end of the day.
And maintain the relationship.
And you got to maintain the relationship, but you got to maintain it with value.
So yeah, I mean, that is a great answer, but
long breathed.
No, but okay, look, everyone, I feel like they know. I'm trying to be the agent, right? I'm trying to run through like, okay, yeah, no, I know, connect, do this, do that.
How do I
but
connect?
I'm too busy.
Here's a great example.
I don't get it.
So agent I work with, one-on-one, good agent, been around 15 years, 4,000 people deep in her database. I'm like, how often are you calling it? Well, I chase after new leads. I don't call any of them. Why would I want to call somebody I've already sold a house to? If you understand the data, right? Consumer moves every 7 years. NAR tells us your database moves, 10% of that baby moves every year. So inside of that database, there's 400 transactions, right? What do I got to do to set more appointments to get more listing opportunities? Here's what I had this agent do. Go through database. Anybody that you can remember on a first name basis, call them up and say this. Hey, I was just thinking about you. Love to reconnect. Could I buy you lunch? Now, not every agent is in a position financially to go buy people lunch or to go buy them coffee, right? Who's to say you can't stop by their office, bring them a sandwich in a bag and just go and have a damn conversation with people.
Bring us some candy.
Bring them some candy. Find
store.
out whatever. Go on Facebook, stalk them, find out what they like, and then bring it to them.
Yeah.
But from a professionalism standpoint, what we do, our team, is, hey, Wes, I was just thinking about you. Love stop by, check in on you, reconnect.
Yeah.
You know, there's really no pitch. If you have a relationship up front with that client, you're going to remember their name. You're going to remember the spouse's name. You're going to remember if they got kids at least, and you're going to probably remember a couple of their names, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not really about selling real estate. It's really about reigniting that relationship.
Right. Okay, so basically, she went ahead and she agreed to do it.
Yep.
And so, what did she do? Like, did she time block certain days?
Yeah. So
how did
what
that
she
work?
did is she time blocked first thing in the morning from 7:30 to like 8:20, right? Because that's when people are driving in their car. Realize that that's probably about the best time to get a hold of them. And the last time I checked, she was booked out like 3 months.
So she time blocked time to call them in the morning.
Every day.
And then did she have certain days and times that she did
every day.
She did these every day?
Even Saturday.
Okay.
Because she found that you can get a whole lot more people on Saturday
Well, not
morning.
calling, but actually going out to eat or...
Every day.
She would go out every day?
Every day.
Okay. So, and then she just dove all the way in? Did it every day, just right out of the gate?
Every day.
Wow.
Right out of the gate.
So what happened after like the first couple weeks? Because I know she probably had some pushback initially.
She pushed back initially.
Right.
But once she went on that play date and the people, we're just thinking about selling. Next thing you know, there's a sign in the front yard. She goes on a play date, come to find out the play date that she went on, mom passed away. Dad needs to sell the house. Right? People's lifestyles change at a drop of a hat.
Right.
And if we're not top of mind, they're not going to remember us.
Yeah, so basically she was meeting with like 20 people or more per month.
Yep.
And so those are, you're at the minimum reconnecting and reestablishing relationship with all those people.
Yeah.
So what that does is that, creates a space in their mind for you. And you don't necessarily just do that once. And you're not necessarily going to do that for your entire data. You're not going to do it for the, leads.
No, you can do it once a year.
Yeah, you're going to do it with your SOI, your past price, right? And then that builds a relationship again. So now when that person is talking to a friend or someone, now you're relevant to them. And they almost feel like, if you went out of the way to do something for them, that's a natural feeling that you want to, humans just have that where they want to give back. And so they're more likely to be like, oh, yeah. Oh, you're selling? Actually, my agent, I just had lunch with her the other day. Not, oh, yeah, my agent? Yeah, I got her newsletter last week. Which is better? You know what I'm saying? Which one sounds better?
You know, I don't know if you know this, but man, last month's newsletter, they had buffalo-style chicken wings.
Right.
Dude, they're like the best ever.
Exactly. So just going out and doing it is just so important. And so when you're going to have a million excuses why you shouldn't be doing this.
That's just fear.
Right. And you feel like I'm wasting time. I don't have time to do this and this and that. But in the end, of all the different industries and businesses that exist out there, real estate is one of those that is a personal, it's definitely a more personal relationship, especially because some of you, and I know you have those sellers, you have those buyers. And I'm not saying go out with the problem ones that you don't want to have anything to do with again. I'm saying the ones that you did, you searched maybe a few homes and then you got really to know their family, the kids, everything, the bedrooms, their whole living situation. And just for all that to be gone.
Well, the commission check was
is just too sad. Right. It's too bad. But really there's, at least 3 transactions for every transaction you do, there's 3 that should come from there.
It's actually, the data showed that.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, there's 3 attached to that thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you realize, NAR says 10% of our database moves every year. NAR also says that like 72 to 84% refer someone for a real estate transaction. So think about that. 10% of your database moves. Over 60 or 70% of people buying real estate were referred. So doesn't it make sense to stay top of mind? Pretty easy game.
Absolutely.
I tell people that all the time. Easiest way to $1 million, if you're kind of smart, you can make $1 billion. But at the end of the day, it's about follow up, follow through, and then just follow them around. Pretty simple game.
So, yeah. So, I mean, hopefully that helps in explaining how the coffee campaign works, how you can use it for your own clients, past clients. Why don't you send a test? I challenge you after this episode to go ahead and write a text to maybe 10 or 20 people, maybe not all at the same time, but let's say.
Actually, why don't you do this?
Yeah.
Why don't you just go through the contacts on your phone, right? Identify 3 of your friends you haven't talked to in a long, long time and reconnect with them. That's
Make it
good
easy.
practice.
All right.
Then you're going to get into a little bit of practice mode. You see that it's going to work. Go have lunch with them, coffee, or stop by their office. Just do something to reignite. Okay. Well, anyway, that is all. Go do that. And we'll wrap up here at Follow Up Genius. And if you like to share how that went, or you have trouble, or you have other questions, feel free to become, you want to join the group, right. Follow Up Genius group. And to do that, all you do is go to followupgenius.net, where you can become a free member of Follow Up Genius and also become a member of the group. You'll get access to all the recordings of the show notes, all that kind of stuff. And tips
also,
and tricks,
all the tips, tricks, all that stuff. And then also you can share your results and maybe what you've done and what worked, what didn't. And we can all help you and assist you with that stuff. So anyway, see you there, followupgenius.net. And that concludes this episode of Follow Up Genius. All right, bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to the Follow Up Genius Show. Get the show notes and discover our fantastic bonus member-only content when you become a Follow Up Genius member. Join today free at followupgenius.net. The Follow Up Genius Show is sponsored by LinkU.